As Governor Obasaki dumps PDP for Labour Party, until the PDP resolves its legal issues, the INEC has refused to list any PDP candidate in Edo State for the Senate or House of Representatives. Labour Party primary election held in Edo Government House. Obasaki seems to be a good strategist, and his weakness, his ego, might just be his strength. I do agree with their assumptions that politics is unique, filthy, capital intensive, contentious, and filled with a variety of other views, appendages. But is not this also true of other professions? The same is clear in our social circles, educational institutions, religious institutions, and even individual lives. It can be difficult for siblings to transport different musicians to the same location for the funeral festivals. When a family holds a simple funeral, the small family is split up after this big man's death because he never had separate stages when he was alive if he wanted to celebrate his birthday. The African man exercises his muscles with his relatives even during family events, so how much more so in politics where everyone has a different ancestry? We are the same as long as we have the same African pride, ego, and blood coursing through our politics or any other career in Nigeria. I have always thought of Godwin Obasaki as an oracle who deserves to be worshipped because of his political cunning and consistent divine support from spiritual deities. Killing an ant with a sledgehammer or an AK-47 Rigo in analogous to Obasaki's situation. He and his rivals have a long history of unpleasant conflict. Obasaki was unconcerned about the potential collateral damage he might cause to numerous people depending on the existence of his opponent in each of these encounters. Obasaki is cruel in battle, and all signs point him caring less about the inevitable outcome, which is always fatal. Even I don't want to disagree with the governor in besides slang, we go with Obasaki, get as he take, they do. No lie, you just exercise caution when fighting Obasaki. No matter how minor the conflict may be, Obasaki always fights to the bitter end and makes sure to take out his adversary depending on your viewpoint. This behavior may be seen as either terrible or positive. Everyone is aware of how after the APC shut their doors to his re-election campaign, Obasaki switched over to the PDP and was granted all privileges while outing other politicians who wanted to run on the party's platform. Until the PDP resolves its legal issues, the INEC has refused to list any PDP candidates in Edo State for the Senate or House of Representatives. With this most recent initiative, Obasaki has displayed his superior leadership, and if it is successful, you can bet that the governor will have been able to deal with every instance of political structure he encountered in Edo State politics. He was successful in turning the APC into the state's opposition party today. Now that the PDP may finish as the state's second place opposition party, is there any way to find harmony in this situation? Make una afraid of Obaseki, in my own opinion, as he is a ruthless politician. If the PDP does not put forth a candidate, Obaseki will have been successfully in forcing out a number of party leaders from both factions. If this INEC decision is upheld, take a look at the list of PDP candidates for the Edo South senatorial seats and who Obasaki would depose from those who purchased forms and ran in the elections to the two NANS incumbents. With this prank, all candidates for the House of Assembly from both factions would have dove into the lagoon. See, the collateral damage is substantial and, again, depending on your perspective, either regrettable or admiring. The game becomes more interesting now that Obasaki has instructed his 11 reserve players to join the Labour Party, and they have won tickets for the same positions that INEC has barred the PDP from running for. According to reports, INEC was fully in charge of the Labour Party primaries, which was held in the government house. This drama is tropical of James Bond picture. Okay. Therefore, the PDP won't field candidates if Obasaki loses in the party. As a result of Obasaki's decision to join the Labour Party eventually overtake the APC as the dominant force in Edo State, with the PDP attempting to overtake both the Labour Party and APC. Obasaki would once more throw open the doors and appoint a large number of Labour Party members as SAs and SSAs. Additionally, he would hold elections for local government councils, which the Labour Party would easily win. The multiplier effect will result in over 70,000 new converts to Labour Party, with even 4,008 local government chairmen and councillors. At least 5 members of each SA or SSA's family would be persuaded to support the governor and his new party as a result of their appointment. The obedient movement has already caused a stir in Edo State, and if Obasaki joins the Labour Party, he could win a sizable number of seats in the House of Assembly and National Assembly. Keep in mind that PDP is no longer in the running. These supporters of the Labour Party would vote in mass for Obasaki's candidate without the Labour Party investing a lot of funds. Say they know they spend shishi. Obasaki seems to be a good strategist, and his weakness, his ego, might just be his strength. He relentlessly pursues his adversaries. You should ignore him at your peril. Okay, guys, this is the writer's opinion. What's your take? Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you very much for always coming out here.